Well, it is official. Fort Hood has confirmed the remains found near the Leon River last week belonged to Vanessa Guillen. 6 News reporter Cole Johnson was there when that announcement was made and shows us what we know now.
Fort Hood, Texas, the place where Vanessa Guillen served our country, and where documents say her life was cut short in an arms room at the hands of Aaron Robinson.
The remains found near the Leon River are in fact those of Vanessa.
On Monday, messages of grief from Fort Hood officials.
Our loss of Vanessa Guillen has devastated us all and left a hole in our formation.
We all feel her loss. The loss of a vibrant young woman who bravely volunteered to serve her country. The loss of a talented soldier, the loss of a loving family member, and the loss of a friend with a bright future ahead of her.
But when it came to getting information on how this all happened on post, as documents describe,
out of respect for the Guillen family and their grieving process,
answers
we will not be taking any questions today.
Were not provided, leaving us with many questions, such as how Vanessa's death could have happened on post as mentioned in official documents. What steps is Fort Hood taking to ensure soldiers' safety while on post? And quantitative details of how searches were handled. Also wanting answers, legislative leaders in Washington. On Monday, Representative Sylvia Garcia announced she is leading 87 members of Congress in support of a request by 2 other legislators that the Department of Defense independently investigate how Fort Hood handled the Guillen case. Not on that list, Representatives John Carter and Roger Williams, both whose district lie on or next to Fort Hood. But both released statements following her identification, echoing calls for transparency in the investigation. Representative Carter saying in part, "As this investigation continues, I'm committed to ensuring that full transparency and accountability is realized so that Vanessa's family receives the answers they deserve." Representative Williams saying in part, "The search for answers into her tragic death must continue, and I call upon the Department of Defense and law enforcement to conduct an immediate and thorough investigation that leads to those responsible being fully brought to justice." As this case continues to unfold, the search for answers continues. Reporting on Fort Hood, Cole Johnson, 6 News.
Now, Major General Scott Efflandt, who's the deputy commander of 3 Corps and Fort Hood, made several promises during today's press conference. He says they'll be assisting the U.S. District Attorney as they take the lead in investigating and prosecuting those associated with Guillen's murder. He also promised Fort Hood would complete the ongoing investigation into sexual harassment claims made by Guillen's family and take action on those findings. And now we did reach out to Guillen's sister Myra and the family lawyer for comment about the press conference. We also reached out to Representative Carter and Williams' office asking if they were aware of Representative Garcia's letter. And we'll also be submitting our questions, those left unanswered today, to the Fort Hood Public Affairs Office as requested during the press conference. And when we have answers, we will have those for you here and at KCENTV.com.